So, hello, Jeff. You're Jeff, and you're a regular here. The pressure may be on you for questions. Anyhow, but anyway, yes, Connor Bard actually is a character I had the idea for 20 years ago, and when I first moved in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood, 1990, and I kept getting interrupted with television stuff, which wasn't bad, and then there was a writer's strike in 2007, and I said, okay, now's the time to write my character, Connor Bard. And I've always had the character in mind, but my wife, Aida, who was there, was sitting on the couch, and I came out and I said, I'm going to write the Connor Bard mystery book, finally. And she said, kill a lawyer. So that's how, like, a la Shakespeare, first thing we do is kill all the lawyers. So that's how Hell's Kitchen Homicide started out, with a dead lawyer, which I thought people would love, a dead lawyer, which, what can you say? But anyway, so, yes, Connor Bard is 42 in Hell's Kitchen Homicide, 43 Crystal Death, and he still dreams of making a music business. Obviously, he's a little bit old for that, but now with America's Got Talent, or Britain's Got Talent, I mean, look at the woman in Britain who, became a superstar. So here's Connor Bard in Midtown Manhattan. It's a precinct that covers. It's a precinct that, by the way, every cop wants to get assigned there, because it covers Broadway, it covers Fashion Avenue, it covers. It goes all the way to to Lexington Avenue to the east, which people don't realize, and the Hudson River to the west. So you have, like I said, you have Fifth Avenue, you have Broadway, you have Times Square, tourist haven. So that's where Connor finds himself amid all this glitz and glamour, dreaming of being a musician, and yet still solving crimes. And with the dilemma right now in Crystal Death, he's almost reached 20 years on the force. So should he retire, go after the music business career, or should he wait, put another 5 years in, retire at a higher pay scale, and but by then he'd be definitely too old to, well, not definitely, but he definitely would be 5 years older, so he wouldn't be able to do it. But anyway, so Crystal Death opens up with the death of a diamond dealer, beautiful Israeli diamond dealer. She's found in a very, very expensive loft with diamonds spread out all over her body. And we find out very early that the only thing that was probably taken in this robbery was a red diamond. And red diamonds are worth far more than clear diamonds. Color diamonds are worth more in general. Red diamonds are the rarest diamond there is. And so they can be priceless, because first of all, there's so few of them, and secondly, depending on the color, they can be unique. Like the only diamond in the world, that color, that valuable. And so obviously this is something that creates a sensation around the precinct, because this is the kind of case that doesn't normally come along. As a matter of fact, in the beginning, when Connor was reluctant, he's pulled off stage by Sergeant Kipps, and he doesn't want to take the case. And she's a South African cop in the scene, red diamond, beautiful Israeli diamond dealer, and he can't resist. So that's where we find Connor in Crystal Death, moving along, trying to solve this case, dealing with South African police, dealing with Indian diamond cutters, because most of the diamonds now are cut in India, and dealing with also the American situation, because let me explain. The thing about a diamond theft, the FBI has a division that's called the gem theft division, because most diamonds do not originate, or no diamonds originate in America, so they come from somewhere. So they have to cross international boundaries. But in this case, Connor has a case because it's a homicide. And along the way, he's also trying to find out what happened to this red diamond, which will hold the key to who killed Ziva Gavish, his diamond dealer. And I think you see an interesting interplay between Connor and South African police, who technically don't have any jurisdiction in New York, but they're here trying to find not just the diamond, but the person who brought the diamond in, because Wouter Marwala, because he is also using the same pipeline for drugs, for counterfeit, for moving money. Matter of fact, it is the same pipeline. Anything that's smuggled, whether it's a diamond or whether it's a drug or a piece of art or money or whatever it is, goes through that same pipeline. And so the people that do this have a gigantic international network that does that. And in the case of, I want to say something about the South African Inspector Kruger. He was with a group called the Scorpions. And the Scorpions were a very effective police unit that was autonomous. They didn't really report to anybody. And they were so effective that they found corruption in the Democratic National Committee of South Africa. And the minute they found the corruption in the DNC disbanded the group. So, but now, and they were known for their ruthlessness and working outside the box. So now, that's who Connor is up against to some degree. He's up against the very tough Inspector Kruger, who has everybody has their own agenda. Connor just wants to solve murder, basically. Inspector Kruger wants to convict Wouter Marwala, because he's never been able to convict him. Wouter Marwala is a guy who always has plausible deniability. And so you've got all that going on, and at the same time, Connor starts romancing an Indian diamond dealer. Last time it was the widow of a mob hitman. So poor Connor, he's always finds himself in these situations. But anyway, and most important, Connor gets a new partner in Crystal Death. In Hell's Kitchen Homicide, he had Ralph, who was an older guy who retired and went to the DA squad. Which, by the way, the DA squad does not have there's no retirement age. Obviously, Robert Morgenthau, when he retired, was, what, how old was he? 90. So, and actually it's a shame, because in the NYPD, you have to retire at 62. And a lot of these guys that don't want to retire, I mean, the real cops, most cops I know can't wait for their 20th year. They get out and get a pension and moonlight or do other stuff like security. But there are cops that are, like Jerry Giorgio is a friend of mine, who are real, this is what they do. This is all they want to do. And at 62, they're told, you're done. And they wind up going to the DA squad, which is where Ralph went. But anyway, Connor gets a new partner, Rosita Rubio. And she's quite a lot to handle, which Connor finds out. But she's very, very pretty and very effective. And Connor finds out that she's just as good with repartee as any of his other male partners. And she's also much more physical than he is. She's in perfect shape. Connor's got a little bit of a gut going on. And she complains when Connor meets her that she always has to be better than her male counterparts. So that's why she's a paramedic, she's this, she's a black belt karate, so she's everything. And in perfect shape. So Connor now has to deal with this new partner. Ralph, his old partner, comes into the picture because the DA squad also lends some support with Connor's investigation. So now I feel like I'm babbling and I can hear myself talk. So does anybody have any questions?